It's a wonderful day in West Virginia. Welcome to the Daily 304 Innovators and Entrepreneurs feature. Here at the Daily 304, we are committed to sharing the wealth, beauty, opportunity, and innovation that is here in wonderful, almost heaven, West Virginia. Today we are joined by Brad Smith. He's a household name in the business community with a decades-long career among high-profile companies such as Pepsi, ADP, and Intuit. Currently, he's the president of Marshall University. Brad Smith, thank you so much for joining us today.
Hi, Andy. It's great to be with you. Go Herd.
That's right, sir. Great to have you here. Brad, tell us a little bit about being now you're president of Marshall. What inspired your decision to get into the field of education and what's driving you forward every day there?
I will tell you, Andy, it is the privilege of a lifetime to have the opportunity to serve the institution and the community that invested in me so many years ago, that allowed me to live such a fulfilled life. If I had to sum it up, Mark Twain said it best: the two most important days in your life are the day you're born and the day that you discover why. And Marshall has always been a part of my why, and I reached a point in my life where it was a chance to come home and pay it forward. And that's what I now have the privilege of doing as the 38th president of Marshall University.
In that work as well, and outside of Marshall, you have another project that we've been a part of and worked on with you, the Ascend West Virginia program. Could you kind of introduce that to somebody and talk a little bit about what that does and how it works?
I would be delighted to. Ascend West Virginia is the nation's premier talent recruitment and retention program. It is actually designed to solve a strategic challenge by capitalizing on a secular trend. The strategic challenge, as you know, is that for 50 years, our state has lost population. The secular trend is the rise in remote work. It's estimated roughly 83% of all job searches today begin with the keyword remote. And there's survey after survey that reveal that those living in these high-rise, stackable cities now want to live in a more rural community where they can live, work, and play. In fact, I say rural is the new urban. So when you bring those things together, here West Virginia sits in the middle of this amazing intersection with incredibly talented people and kind communities. We have access to unbelievable outdoor amenities that would be the perfect Hallmark movie for anyone who wants to live here on a daily basis. And so we launched Ascend West Virginia. And we launched it on the 50th anniversary of John Denver's iconic release of Country Roads. And we are bringing in, over the next 5 years, 1,000 remote workers, plus their family. We're bringing them in at a group of 25 at a time, 25 in a cohort. So we're now 3 groups in. So we have 75 ascenders and a total of 143 people who have moved to the state. And what they get in return for doing that is they get recruitment and retention incentives that equal $12,000. They get free outdoor access to all the amenities we have, including rental equipment. They also have access to a co-working facility where they get a chance to work with other ascenders from all over the world. And they get continuing education programs like remote work certificates, which help them with their jobs. And we're super excited by the demand. For the first 75 positions, we've had over 1 million people visit the website. We've had tens of thousands of applications, and they've come from 104 countries and all 50 states. So if anyone thinks that West Virginia is not appealing, tell that to all the people who've been knocking on the door trying to get one of these coveted spots. It is absolutely incredible.
It's a wonderful program. I've loved watch it launch and kick off. You know, we are constantly promoting remote work in almost heaven, and it's great that those numbers are astonishing. So thank you for sharing them. That leads me to the outdoor economy, you know, tourism and the business of being outside and the people that create the products and play in the outdoor economy. What have you seen that is driving that growth here, and what do you think the future holds for West Virginia?
You know, Andy, this goes back to some of the secular trends that I referenced, but there really is a third trend. When you study what's happening with the current generation of young professionals and those who are ready to graduate, there is a rise in entrepreneurial interest. Entrepreneurial interest sometimes means that they want to create their own jobs or create their own companies, or they want to work in a company that is very entrepreneurial and innovative, and they want to bring those skills to their job or their workforce. When you study what these individuals have in common, They love to have experiential learning, which not only happens in a classroom or in a job, but outside. So they're very much into the outdoors, whether it's hiking or it's swimming or it's whitewater rapids, or it's any of the other things that West Virginia can offer. In addition to that, you have this rise in remote work where people can live anywhere they want, but they can do their job online. But those individuals, when you look at what they want to have, they want to live in communities where they can afford the cost of living, they have great access to a quality of life at a lower cost, and they have the ability to enjoy the outdoors. And then you put the third aspect in, which is this new desire to live in more rural destinations. And all of those things come back to tourism, because tourism is the way to sample West Virginia before you make the decision to commit. So that's why we've been working with the Secretary of Tourism, Chelsea Ruby, throughout day one of launching Ascend. She's been an incredible partner because they go hand in hand. And I think tourism is going to be the magic unlock for our state's next great chapter. And I think the Ascend program is living proof that that's happening.
And the interest in all the applications. And from my work with Secretary Ruby, we know that if they visit, there's a large majority of the people that come back, and they keep coming back to that quality of life, that great experience of being outside and experiencing the great communities that you reference. It's a wonderful place to be, and I'm so glad that we're both here to share with the world what we have to offer. Now, I know that Elise Smith, your wife, and you have another program called Wing to Wing. Could you explain that endeavor a little bit as well and tell us about how that works?
I can. Wing to Wing is the reason why we have the opportunity to have Ascend West Virginia and some other things happening. We stepped back when I retired from CEO of Intuit 2019 and said, how do we focus our efforts in the next chapter? And what we knew we wanted to do was level the playing field of opportunity in West Virginia and the surrounding Appalachian region, because we knew that God created talent equally. Unfortunately, economies do not distribute jobs equally. And so we said, if we really focus our efforts on Appalachia, and in particular West Virginia, how will we level the playing field? And we saw three things: education, entrepreneurship, and capitalize on the amazing environment and the outdoor amenities we have here that no one else in the world can match. And so through those efforts, we've been funding scholarships for first-generation students who are the first in their family to go to college. They're full-ride scholarships to Marshall University. We have a complimentary program to Ohio State, which is where Elise graduated from. We also have been supporting a science adventure school with West Virginia University, which exposes all the middle school children to science through outdoor activities at the Bechtel Summit Reserve. And we're investing in entrepreneurs who are right here in West Virginia who want to create the next great Amazon or the next Google from our mountains. And so it's a combination of educational efforts, it's a combination of entrepreneurial investments and coaching, and it's a combination of the environment and how we both preserve and capitalize on our assets to try to help level the playing field for our people here in West Virginia.
Well, Brad, I have a question. When are you sleeping when you're doing all of this fabulous work to help promote Almost Heaven West Virginia? We cannot thank you enough. I love all of the energy you have, the positivity and the humbleness that you bring to all of this work is an inspiration to me personally, and I know to everyone that you're around. So thank you so much. We're happy to be able to help promote those endeavors with you, those very special programs. And what I love about what you've just shared and done is you have backed it up with statistics and the fact that there's activity that shows the interest, that you're putting people in places to where they can consider taking advantage of the wonderful things we have here. While I have you, I want to take advantage of one more thing. You have this life experience, this ability to see all of the moving parts and put them together. We have something called Innovation Corner here, and if you could please share with the entrepreneurs, the innovators that watch and listen to this feature, what is the one thing you could tell them that has driven you or keeps you going every day when you're facing those big obstacles? What's the piece of advice you could give to those that are going to help recreate and shape the future of West Virginia?
Thank you for that question, Andy. I would say the work has been done for me, which is why this is my answer. There's a great book by Angela Duckworth called Grit, and it is a study that over 30 years tried to identify the single variable that would predict success in any facet of life, from academia to professional sports to the private industry to public service. And the answer is in the title. The ability to basically overcome adversity and get back up, dust yourself off, and move forward. It's called grit. Mm-hmm. And so what I would say to any entrepreneur is that is West Virginia's secret sauce. We know how to overcome setbacks and adversity and still be standing. We came from the families that mined the coal, that forged the steel, that built the roads, that carried the trucks, that won the war. When our president asked us to help put a man on the moon, we produced the Rocket Boys in October Sky that put an astronaut safely on the moon. And then when we need to get him safely back to Earth, our mountains produced Katherine Johnson and the Hidden Figures who did the calculations to get him home. We have everything it takes to lead this nation and shape the 21st century, and primarily because we are built out of grit and we are built out of grace. So fall in love with the problem. If you fail, get up, dust yourself off, and keep going, because we were born to be leaders. That would be my advice.
Heard, taken, going to implement, and act. Sir, thank you so much. We do have a shorter feature here. We're just delighted that you'll be able to come here, share all of those wonderful programs that you're involved with. I challenge all of our listeners and watchers to go and get engaged with those efforts and help promote West Virginia. What is the best point of access to that someone can learn more or reach you or learn about those activities that you're involved in?
They can write an email directly to me here at Marshall University. It's bradsmith@marshall.edu. If they want to learn more about the philanthropic efforts, it is wingtowingfoundation.org. And either one of those will get you to the right answers and hopefully to the questions that you may have.
Wonderful. Brad Smith, thank you so much for sharing time with us today and help us promote the wealth, beauty, and opportunity that's here in West Virginia.
Thank you, Andy. It's been a privilege. Thank you for the amazing work that you're doing, and I can't wait to see you again in person.
You're very kind, sir. Thank you. And thank you for watching. Be sure to follow us on all our social media channels at the Daily304. You can also stay up to date with all the great things happening in beautiful, almost heaven, West Virginia by heading on over to wv.gov/daily304. We'll see you again next time.